What if I told you that for some couples, the happiest day of their lives becomes the most painful? Within just 24 hours, the wedding was beautiful, the vows were powerful, the pictures were perfect, family members cried tears of joy, friends clapped, music played, everyone said, "You look so happy." But then the lights dimmed, the guests went home, the decorations came down, the room became quiet, and suddenly, reality walked in. Welcome back to Marriage and Relationship 247. Today, we are talking about something most people are too afraid to discuss. What can go terribly wrong within the first 24 hours after marriage? Not to scare you, but to prepare you. 1. When the applause stops. The wedding day is performance. Marriage is reality. On the wedding day, you are celebrated. In marriage, you are revealed. The attention disappears overnight. No more applause. No more spotlight. Just two people, alone. And in that quiet space, something powerful happens. You begin to see each other without the filters, without the excitement, without the crowd. And for some couples, that moment feels uncomfortable. Why? Because the wedding was planned, but the marriage was not prepared for. Planning flowers is easy. Planning for conflict resolution is hard. Choosing a cake flavor is easy. Choosing emotional maturity is harder. Some couples enter marriage with romance in their heads, but without readiness in their hearts. And within 24 hours, the illusion starts cracking. 2. When expectations collide. Every person enters marriage with expectations. Some spoken, many unspoken. One partner expects endless romance. The other expects instant obedience. One expects emotional conversation. The other expects physical intimacy only. One expects partnership. The other expects control. But here's the truth. Unspoken expectations are silent landmines. And when they explode fast. Within the first 24 hours, disappointment can enter quietly. Not because love is absent, but because assumptions were never discussed. Marriage doesn't reveal who you married. It reveals what you assumed. And assumptions are dangerous, because they feel real, until reality disagrees. 3. The first night pressure. The first night of marriage is often imagined as magical. Candles, soft music, whispers. But for some couples, it becomes heavy, awkward, painful. There is pressure. Pressure to perform. Pressure to impress. Pressure to meet expectations. And pressure kills intimacy. If emotional safety is missing, physical closeness feels forced. And when something feels forced, it no longer feels loving. Some spouses cry silently on their wedding night, not because they don't love their partner, but because they feel unseen, unheard, unsafe. Marriage without emotional safety feels like a beautiful house with no foundation. And foundations matter, especially on day 1. 4. Red flags that show up immediately. Here's something difficult to accept. The red flags were there before the wedding. They just weren't addressed. Within 24 hours, you might see disrespectful language, controlling behavior, anger over small questions, jealousy, phone monitoring, financial dominance, sudden personality shifts. You might think, where did this come from? But the truth is, it didn't come from nowhere. Marriage didn't create it. Marriage exposed it. Dating hides flaws with excitement. Marriage removes the disguise. And when the disguise falls quickly, it feels shocking. 5. The emotional collapse. Sometimes, the first 24 hours are not dramatic. They're quiet, too quiet. Silence at dinner, distance in bed, avoided eye contact, short responses, forced smiles, and in the heart, a whisper. Did I make a mistake? That question is terrifying, especially when everyone expects happiness. You don't want to admit doubt. You don't want to look foolish. You don't want to disappoint your family. So you smile. But inside, you're overwhelmed. This emotional collapse doesn't mean the marriage is doomed. But it does mean something was rushed, ignored, or misunderstood. 6. Why this happens. Let's go deeper. Why do some marriages feel painful within 24 hours? Because many people prepare for a wedding, not for a marriage. They invest in outfits, not in emotional intelligence. They plan receptions, not communication styles. They discuss honeymoon destinations, not conflict management. Marriage is not sustained by chemistry. It is sustained by character. Character is revealed under pressure. And the first 24 hours contain a lot of pressure. 7. The fear no one talks about. There's another truth. Some people marry out of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of starting over. Fear of age pressure. Fear of family pressure. Fear of losing the relationship. And fear is a terrible foundation. Because once the wedding ends, fear has nowhere to hide, and regret can whisper loudly. This is why preparation matters more than presentation. 8. The lessons. If there is one powerful lesson from this discussion, it is this. Marriage should never begin with surprise. It should begin with understanding. Ask hard questions before marriage. Talk about money. Talk about intimacy. Talk about boundaries. Talk about anger patterns. Talk about expectations. Address red flags early. Do not romanticize disrespect. Do not excuse controlling behavior. Do not ignore emotional immaturity. Choose character over chemistry. Chemistry excites. Character sustains. And never marry under pressure. Peace is the greatest confirmation, not panic. 9. For those already married. If you're watching this and you're already married, and you recognize some of these signs, breathe. It's not too late. Awareness is the first step toward healing. Conversations can be started. Counseling can be sought. Boundaries can be built. Emotional safety can be created. Marriage is not destroyed in 24 hours, but it can be awakened in 24 hours too. You are not alone, and growth is still possible. Marriage should begin with peace, not panic, with clarity, not confusion, with love, not fear. The goal of this message is not to create anxiety. It is to create wisdom, because a wedding lasts one day, but marriage is built every day after. If this message spoke to you, like this video, share it with someone preparing for marriage. And subscribe to Relationship and Marriage 247 for more life-changing relationship truths. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and keep mastering your marriage.